DJ gonna give us a little something while we're getting ready. First, coming to the court is Gilbert, representing Highland High School. She'll be wearing number 1. Next is Reece from Maranatha, also wearing number 1. She's a 9th grader. Next is Mahogany coming to wearing a CDH jersey, wearing number 33. She's a 9th grader. Next is Josephine my height 6'1", coming in strong, wearing 25, representing St. Paul. Aliyah Horton is next, wearing her Queen's jersey, number 22. She's a 9th grader. Giovanni Sylvester, representing St. Paul, wearing number 25. She's an 8th grader. Last but not least, Dornan. She's a 9th grader from Cretin-Derham, wearing number 30. She's my height also.
That might be my
Please
food.
give it up for our white team. They are going to be Team Tyesha. Next is our dark team. They are going to be Team Aiyana. They are coached by Nunu. First we have Aaliyah Miller wearing her Queen's jersey. She's going to be number 32. Next is Amaya Penn wearing her Minnesota Stars jersey, also number 32. We've got Olivia Laughlin representing St. Paul, number 2. Mikhala wearing her 43 Boost jersey. She's number 22. They tall, y'all. They're going to be a problem. We got Nunez-Williams, freshman at CDH, wearing number 5. This your home court. You better represent. We got LeSedra Williams wearing her North Tartan jersey. She's number 25. Aniyah wearing her Diamond Elite, number 14. And Samya Denman wearing her Cottage jersey. She's going to be number 0. Again, this is Team Aiyana. They're going to be wearing the dark colors. We're about to get this game going. Coaches, get your starters ready.
And with the introductions out of the way, well, almost out of the way. That is one of the ones, Aniyah Strouder of Team Tyesha. It's Team Aiyana and Team Tyesha for game number 2. I'm Mike Beaton, and I'm joined today by Lavera Jeffrey, an assistant coach for Coma Park. And Lavera, we've got 3 number 1s on Team Tyesha. That's going to make things a little interesting for us to try to pick out. But
yes, it will.
What are you most excited about for this matchup here?
I am actually quite excited to see some of the young ladies that I saw in AAU last year. Looking to see some ball movement and some activeness without the ball. So it should be a great game.
This is the 8th and 9th grade game. And the team names, of course, paying homage to young women who lost their lives to gun violence. And if the 6th, 7th grade game was any indication, I've got a feeling we're going to be in for a show. And we're underway. Tyesha wearing the light-colored jerseys. Aiyana wearing the dark-colored jerseys. So this is Team Tyesha. That's Aniyah Strouder. And as we get older here, you're going to see more of the high school jerseys, which will make it easier for me to identify, just like Emma Dornan there, who got an inside-out rebound and then got it back for the layup. So Team Tyesha gets on the board first.
Takes to the basket.
And I believe that was Samya Denman. That was Denman. So we're off to a quick start in this game. 20-minute running halves, of course. And Lavera?
I like to see the ladies drive to the basket. That was a great take. She went in aggressively, and it's nice to see that more post players are willing to dribble the ball up the court and dribble it into the basket. It's been great to see.
Strouder with the rebound after Number 25, I don't know which one yet. She's wearing the North Tartan jersey. I'll see if I can spot her.
It's good hands.
Okay, I can't quite do that. There are two of them, so that's either Josephine Hover or Giovanni Sylvester. Perhaps we'll figure it out here. This is number 32, Aaliyah Miller. She took part in this event a year ago. Denman, runner off the mark. Rebound by number 5, Maya Nunez-Williams. Maya played on Cretin-Derham Hall this past fall. Gilbert to number 22. I want to say that's Aaliyah Horton. Yep, wearing the Queen's jersey. Aaliyah and Ashley Horton play at North St. Paul, and that could be a team to watch in a year or two. They actually beat their win total significantly this season.
Very true. I know that they have a lot of great young talent coming up. So definitely a school to check out and keep an eye out for in the next couple of years.
And that can be tricky, especially for a program like North St. Paul, not used to success. That makes it harder to build them up. But if you're able to pull it off like they did, or have done at least this season, they have some confidence within them now. Eastridge went through something similar a few years ago where they had a winless season, and since then they've been a contender. Ashley Ellis-Milan doing a great job with that program.
Great job. Much credit to her in the program.
Well, you had the chance to go against her earlier this season.
Yes, we did. It was a great game. It was aggressive and loud, which I love, and it just reminded me a lot of watching her play as a young lady. Playing against her as a Highland Park alum, and she was at Central.
That's right. You were a Highland Park graduate.
Yes, I was. So it was always nice to play against the best, and it only helped me down the line, and an opportunity to coach against one of the best too does nothing but help me improve in my experience.
That's why I'm glad you're here, because I feel we're going to learn a little more about you that I didn't know. I always saw you as the woman running security at Lynx games for all those years. And I guess, well, you still are a head of security, just at a different location.
Yes, I am. I was with the Target Center for about 10 years, working in the security department, and I am no longer there. I am now at the Ordway Performing Arts Theater, downtown St. Paul, as a security director. And we have some great shows coming up, so please keep an eye out for that at the Ordway.
Well, I see you snuck in a plug there for the upcoming season.
Yes.
Amaya Penn scoring for Team Aiyana. It's 4-4. And Aiyana looking to break that tie. Here comes Penn.
Take to the basket.
Yes.
It's a great take. Very confident in her step and going up to the basket and finishing at the rim.
Amaya, part of PJ's Minnesota Stars AAU team. PJ Hill, that is. 6-4. Aiyana leading Tyesha.
Hold it.
Well, Highland Park, you went there, so...
Yes, actually...
there's another player, Crystal Heinrichsen, I think. You might remember her as well.
Yes,
Hendrickson.
Yep.
Well, my apologies.
Yep.
She goes by a different name now, I think.
she
She's
does.
married and has kids.
She
but
is.
how about
That's true.
Strouder? That was
Nice. That was a great take.
a tough layup, and she converts it.
Yes, call for it.
Nunez-Williams can't hit the three. And the rebound by Sage Gilbert out of Highland Park. Horton left that short, but there's Strouder again.
Nice putback. That was a great putback. Nice follow.
Well, Aniyah, don't sleep on DeLaSalle. They've got a lot of youngsters who made an impact this season. Anisha Scott, Jordan Johnson, who we'll see in the next game.
Yes.
Malia White. I was curious what they would look like after Tanisha Scott left under not the best of circumstances, but DeLaSalle forging a new identity.
Nice.
And did that ball go off the official?
Yeah, I believe it did.
Well,
Oh. The ref is a part of the game.
Right, as Tisa pointed out, anyone in the field of play is a part of the game. Now, the official can't get charged with a turnover. That much I can tell you.
Yeah.
And we've got one of the 25s Josephine Hover wearing the St. Paul Hoops jersey, attending Holy Spirit. And there's another player who doesn't have a jersey on her. But I can tell you who that is. That is Reece Watson from Maranatha Christian Academy. 33. Okay.
Good
so
hustle.
that's Mahogany Brown. So she only has the back number on there.
You know, it seems like a pretty nice balance as far as rotation and the subs for a group of girls that haven't played together. Very close game.
That's a good point. This is an all-star game. It kind of came together quickly to navigate the women's Final Four, but you're right.
Nice
These
block
kids
from number
don't really
25.
play with each other. It's not like AAU or high school practice where you get some time.
Yes.
They're thrown right in.
Nice shot,
It's a
yes.
bit like Athletes
Good
Unlimited.
follow. It's great.
That was Miller on the follow-through, but these games are not unlike Athletes Unlimited where you pick your players and you see what you got. This is Aniyah Johnson, who attends Edina High School, part of Diamond Elite, as you can see at Edina. They've had some history with girls basketball. MC McGregor comes to mind, Bailey Helgren. Dorothy Stotts was one of their top players this year. And we're tied at 8.
Yeah.
This is Josephine Hover with the St. Paul jersey. Over to Brown. Drive no good.
25 has been all over the rebounds here. I'm not sure where she's coming out of.
That's LeSedra Williams, number 25.
Yes, she is coming down with great defensive rebounds and is not afraid to bring the ball up the court, strong and confidently.
Watson to Brown.
Nice
Pounded.
defense.
That's Amaya Penn with the steal. Up against Brown. No good, but Miller is there.
Nice.
How tall is Brown? She's got to be, what, 5'1", 5'2"?
Yeah.
If that? 5 feet nothing. I just confirmed it. 5 feet 0.
Oh, that doesn't matter. You get in
Well-
there and you play.
Well, you would know a thing or two about, well, not you personally, but,
But, I mean, well-
you got to coach Ronnie Porter and Amani Crump.
Yes, absolutely. And something that sits with me with Ronnie Porter is when she mentions heart over height, and she definitely plays with that endurance. And you can see it in some of these other small guards out here that are moving with intensity and going inside and aren't afraid to take it to the big girls inside. It's good to see.
And Ronnie, unfortunately, unable to play because she's already committed to a pair of All-Star games. She'll
Yes.
play on Friday at the Who's Next All-American Games. I'm going to be covering that because I just can't get enough basketball and the Coaches Association All-Star Series.
Yes.
I'm sure she would have loved to play in this one too, but she got to play last year and put on a show.
Yes. But she's here as support, though, so that's great. Nice take.
Williams can't get the hook. And there's Liv McGill, Liv being the official today. I was going to say, yeah, you're what, maybe 6'2"?
I am actually about 6'3.5".
Oh, I thought, okay. I thought you were 7 feet tall, maybe 8.
Yeah, I am about almost 6'4", very close to it.
How often did you get asked if you played basketball? And I guess that's kind of amusing because you did, but
Yeah, well, we can't
because growing
say-
up being tall in our era, a little different.
Yes, well, I can't say how often did I get asked. Because it still happens today.
Well, if
So-
you ask Emma Dornan if she plays basketball, she'll say a
And that was-
resounding yes.
That was a great post move down low. I am very big on post players. As a previous post player myself, that was a great move down low. I love that she kept the ball up and went straight up to the rim.
Emma
Finish.
Dornan completes a three-point
And
play.
making free throws. That is always great to see.
Well, in Cretin-Derham Hall, they're rebuilding. They made it to state back in 2018, but they have a lot of younger pieces, and there is Denman, her 3 is off the back iron.
Nice putback. Good box. Good box out.
Lavera, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking I should just give this mic to Tisa, let her call the show, because she pretty much is doing my job.
Yeah, she is. She's doing a pretty good job. At first, I couldn't identify where she was sitting, and then I noticed she was right over there at the scorer's table. So, yeah.
It makes you wonder, what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Gilbert to Strouder.
I love to see the girls down low posting up. Nice work.
And it paid off for Strouder.
Oh.
13-12 is our score. Tyesha over Aiyana. But just like the last game, it's a close one.
It is.
And Josephine Hover is fouled. Josephine attending Holy Spirit. We'll see where she goes. Oh, is that? No, they're 225s. Is that Sylvester, maybe? Nope, that is Okay, I see why. Because they had Sylvester as a 23. She's wearing 25. So Josephine is the shorter one. I have to ask you this, Olivia, since you graduated around my time, actually. Way back in the era before MySpace. So who was the toughest player to go against? Because you had to go up against those high-powered Central teams with Ashley Ellis-Mylan, Danielle Ellison, and Dejournay Priolo, who's now Dejournay Buford, Kiara Buford. I don't think you played against her, but...
Kiara, I played against Angel Robinson.
Angel Robinson, who was at Johnson,
Ebony
then
Black
Central. Ebony.
During those times.
That was when St. Paul Hoops was a huge deal.
Yes, and it was Central and Highland who were our biggest rivals and who gave us the most competition, or those two schools. I can remember playing with Danielle Matthias, and then her leaving to go and play elsewhere and having to play against her. It was kind of weird.
Danielle Matthias, that's right. She went to Cretin-Derham Hall for a time, then Johnson.
Yes, but we played together prior to that for Coach Deb at Highland Park. So that's where our career began together. But it was always, like you said, Kiara Bruford, wonderful player, and she's doing great things as a coach. And Ashley, she banged me down low. She made me learn how to play aggressively down there. I was not always the most dominant player. That was a great shot.
Aniyah Strouder knocks down the 3. I have to.
Putting on a show.
Were you able to bang her back? Were you able to hold your own against Ashley?
You know what? My biggest thing when we played against them, nice call.
LeSedra Williams answers in a big way.
When we played against them, my biggest thing was to play defense and to try to keep her from her average. And if I could hold her.
How hard was that?
It was hard, and I'll say that because she was a go-to player, so they were looking to get the ball to her. So
you saw what she did in Minnesota.
Yeah, I know, and so she made me work down low, but it helped build my character as a player, and it pushed me to actually want to continue playing because I was able to keep up with players like her. So I actually played 2 years at Minneapolis Community and Technical College.
MCTC.
Yes, I did after Highland Park. So I kept playing the game for a while.
Did you ever tell Ashley that story, that you're the reason I kept playing? Or one of them at least?
Yes, I did tell her that.
What did she have to say?
Her and I worked together at the Target Center when she was working for the Minnesota Lynx. So
and she's still there.
Yes, she is. And we worked the All-Star game together. And I was like, man, who would have thought we'd go from high school announcements to being on the orange carpet for the WNBA All-Star game. And I told her, you're part of the reason why I still play as well as why I coach now, because, being able to keep up with girls like that gave me a confidence boost that, hey, maybe I can play this game. So,
well, I'm sure she was thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
As we return to action, 17-15 is the score. This one maybe a little choppier at times. We've seen some good playmaking. 3-ball, corner pocket.
Nice shot.
Amaya Penn. Well, if Ashley watches this tape, I don't know if she will. Maybe we'll see how many shades red she turns when she hears about this story. But no, what she's doing at Eastridge, a tremendous job. She gets a lot of respect. She said, I hope I don't burn any bridges because I'm not doing AAU. And I told her, you'd have to work really hard to do that because everywhere I go, I hear great stories.
Nothing but positive stories about her.
Here is Horton.
That was a nice take to the basket.
And did not establish herself. And the official on top of that. So you played at MCTC, and, well, you found a way to stay involved in the game being at Target Center all those years.
Yes, I did.
You probably heard the story, too, about one of my most embarrassing moments as Aaliyah Miller goes to the line. Do you hear the story about the guy who went into the locker room while the team was changing?
So that was
me.
I definitely heard that
One of the
story.
security guards cleared me.
Yes, I
when I wasn't. It took me all of 2 seconds to realize this ain't gonna work.
Yes, I actually did hear that story. I was not aware that was you.
Oh, people! And the
Nice
funny
free
thing
throw.
is, the folks who were on staff as Miller knocks down both free throws, they were still talking about it years later. So I had to put up with that for years. Mahogany Brown drives no good. From all the game day staff, you're like, yeah, did you hear about the guy who went into the locker room while they were changing? I'm like, yeah, that was the security guard. She felt so bad. It was an honest mistake. But it's like, hey, I'm not a locker room full of women. Amaya Penn. It's like, if you're not careful, that could go south in a hurry. So I'm getting the heck out of there.
Very true. Yes, I did hear that story.
I've shared that with former players, and they all laugh because they're like, you gotta be kidding. Maya Penn, by the way, has 10 points.
Oh, nice take.
As Aiyana leads Tyesha 23-17. Amaya Penn making her presence felt. She attends the Journey School, and we saw this last year. Crystal recruited a couple players from North Dakota to take part in this event. And you might see some more as Denman lines up the three and nails it. And Aiyana starting to knock them down from long range.
The game has taken off a little bit here.
Horton on the other end. Aliyah Horton scoring in transition. We saw this in the first game. You got to make sure. I know it's an all-star game, but nobody wants to be blown by.
That was great defense down low there.
But Aaliyah Miller is there again. The 32s are playing like lucky sevens. Miller with 8, Amaya Penn with 10. 28-19. Look at this run that Team Aiyana is putting up over Tyesha.
Yes.
Brown.
Nice take.
Strouder can't save it in time.
Good hustle.
And we'll have subs with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Strouder playing for the steal there.
Nice work.
Cutting Amaya Penn.
That was a great take inside.
30-19, Amaya Penn with 12 points. And Team Aiyana elongating their run.
Yes, inside.
Here's Strouder with the lob. Miller read it. One-on-one. Bit of a high dribble, but I said this in the last game. You'll let a couple of things slide that normally might not go unnoticed in a regular game.
Yes.
So did you play in any All-Star events in your heyday?
Well, actually, I did during my senior year. We all know of the late, great Kwame McDonald, who is no longer with us. He used to host a classic game every year, and I had the honor of playing in that game my senior year in 2004.
Was that the Intercity Classic?
Yes, the Intercity Classic.
He and Derek Rubin, I think, were involved in that.
And I was so excited because I got to play on the team with Maya Johnson, in whom was a great basketball player for Minneapolis.
Minneapolis
back
North.
in the early 2000s. During
Michigan State.
Yes, Michigan State.
Is where she played.
Oh, nice hustle.
The Intercity All-Star Classic.
Yes.
That was a predecessor of sorts to this event. to give kids that might not otherwise have a chance to play at an all-star venue a chance to show their stuff. And those years, it was held at Concordia's Ginkelhoff Center. That was a big deal.
Yes, it was.
I know that they drew some crowds in the early days. This one kind of came together in a hurry.
Yeah, this is my first time. I didn't know about it last year, so I'm excited to be a part of it this year and see what I can do to lean forward and assist for the years to come.
Amaya Nunez-Williams will shoot free throws here. Nunez-Williams, one of the Nunu's I think this is the one chance where Nunu can finally have a little fun with her teammate and live.
Yes. Coach seems a little excited there about getting that foul call. We got to make those free throws.
Well, again, yeah, remember who one of the officials are.
Yes.
This is the one opportunity Nunu can heckle the official and not get teed up for it.
Nice putback.
That is Amaya Penn again. 14 points for Amaya Penn.
Nice. Box out down low, get the rebound, and go right back up with it.
You know what? I think there might be tape somewhere of that 04 All-Star Classic because I helped out with that.
Really?
Yeah, I was working at journalism camp, so I couldn't be there the day of, but I helped edit the games.
Oh, wow.
But I remember they drew big crowds at the Ginkelhoff Center. That was, I think, before YouTube and all the social media made it easier to find. So you knew if you wanted to see some players, this was the time to do it.
I know, it was great basketball fun. Oh.
That was a lot of fun. That was a 20-year deal.
Yeah.
That went on for 20 years. And it's always
players.
fun for me with All-Star events because I would always highlight the double dippers, those who played in the All-Star Series and the All-Star Classic. And with Crystal's triple threat event, that's a thing again, the double dippers.
Yes, absolutely is. But it's like we keep mentioning, it's a great opportunity to showcase, the talent that is coming into the high schools and the talents that's leaving the high schools and what's to come for senior year for a lot of these girls.
So that brings us to the end of the first half. 33-19 the score. Aiyana over Tyesha and Lavera. The points A, B, and C of that first half. Amaya Penn, Aaliyah Miller with 9 points. Those two, the 32s, as I said, playing like lucky sevens.
Yes, they are. Having a great basketball game here.
So a quick halftime break. What are your takeaways from this first half, and what have you enjoyed most about this event now that you're aware of it?
Like I said, I'm enjoying the opportunity to see the upcoming talents coming into the high school world, and also some of these young ladies who play AAU basketball, travel ball. I'm excited to see what they are going to do this spring. As I coach for the Minnesota Heat, I'm at a lot of the tournaments, and some of these faces are familiar. I'm not really familiar with the girls, but I'm getting familiar with their faces and also their skills on the court. So this has been exciting. I'm really excited to see this second half, and hopefully we can coach team can come back from the run that's been taken off so far.
And ninth grade, I think we have a few ninth graders playing that game. We need you to come over behind the bench here and get a picture.
So Crystal getting the next game in order. So Lavera, for those who might be wondering, what were you up to? What have you been up to? If there are any Highland Park fans out there, you talked a little bit about your college and your career aspirations. So yeah, where have you been these last few years? I'm surprised we didn't cross paths more often. I was a Harding kid.
No, wow.
So
yeah.
we were in the same conference. Now, obviously, I couldn't play against you because, obvi reasons. But yes, tell us what you've been up to.
Well, post high school, as I've mentioned, I went to Minneapolis Community and Technical College, MCTC. Played there a couple years, graduated in business nonprofit. Been working in the world of security for the past 12 years, and I've also been coaching for the past 10 years. I started with my son at the age of 5 at Jimmy Lee Oxford Rec Center in St. Paul, which is where I grew up. Most of my childhood was at
I know
Jimmy
that place
Lee.
well.
Yes, so
I think I visited after the renovations.
Yes.
They had this light game down there now where you have to touch light sensors. It's a reaction game. It's
Wow.
a bit like Bonkers on The Price is Right. You just have to go and touch it.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. That space was not there when I was growing up. That was actually
No.
the entrance to the pool when I was younger. But I mean, I went from Jimmy Lee, and then I started coaching at Northdale Community Center. I was there for about 3 years. I took that team of girls and we started doing travel ball. That's when I started my players, my program, the Royals. Under my coaching, I had a few people assist with it, but unfortunately, I was very busy with work and unable to continue that program alone. So I just started coaching AAU under the Minnesota Heat, where it was less of my responsibility all alone. But I still get to coach, as well as coaching at Roseville for a couple seasons, and I was at Mounds View last high school season. So Coach Ronnie Smith, in whom was my high school coach, along with Coach Deb Williams, Coach Ronnie called me and asked me if I wanted to come and join the Como family, and I was just excited for an opportunity to be back in the community and to be under some folks that I admired. I admired him as a coach, and I was really excited to have an opportunity to coach with Yolanda England, in whom has taught me so much, and what she did with her group of girls over the years, and to go as far as we did to take third in state. It's just been I've been an honor to be a part of the program, and I'm looking forward to what's to come this summer and for our workouts and next fall, next winter, actually.
I just remember when Olanda announced that you were joining the staff, my first thought was, I've seen this person before. Like, I saw her at every Lynxscape.
Yes.
So it's nice to know that you're more than just that tall
Great
security guard. LeSedra Williams with our first bucket of the second half, and Aiyana
Great
continuing
run.
this run. I think it's something along the lines of 16-0. Something like that.
They've had a
I'm not
nice
paying
run.
that much attention because
Great work.
Emma Dornan just ended that run, but I was going to say it's a bit like whose line is it anyway. The points don't matter in this game.
Yes.
They don't get added to any category, but cool to see. And Denman missing the drive. That's Reece Watson. Maranatha will be the host side of that Who's Next All-American showcase. I don't know if you'll be attending that one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to it. We'll definitely be attending that.
40 kids from around the country
Yeah.
will take part.
It's going to be a great showcase.
And much like this, kind of an alternate for kids that maybe didn't make the cut for the McDonald's All-American game, it's their chance to highlight themselves. And for Maya Naji, how about that for a double dip? She'll
Yes.
play in that game and the All-American game.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't think you can ask for a much better send-off.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't announced Miss Basketball yet. She's my favorite to get it. As
Yeah.
Gilbert fires the three and connects.
Nice shot.
Sage Gilbert out of Highland Park.
Highland Park. HP.
HB, I'd say one of the smallest gyms
Very much.
in the
Oh,
conference.
Well, my son is actually at Highland now. He's a freshman this year. He plays football.
Okay,
Yes.
I saw a photo and
Yeah.
it's like
He's a big kid.
He's not so little anymore, is
No,
he?
he is not. My son is about 6'1" now.
Well, I wonder where he got
15.
that from.
No, yes.
From his dad, right?
Yeah. Nope, he got it from me. Nope. I don't know.
38-24, Amaya Penn with the three for Team Aiyana. And Williams
Really
can't
like
get
her.
the bounce.
Get in
We've
there.
got a collision.
We need a little bit more aggression on defense here.
Well, what amazes me about Highland Park, and everyone has their reasons for doing so, all the kids that started there then went to other schools, and again, everyone has their reasons for it, so I'm not saying that
Shot.
as Mahogany
Wow.
Brown gets on the board with that three. But Tamia Yugas was there, Kai Allums before he went to Centennial,
Started there. KK.
Georgie Jones,
Caitlin.
KK, that's right, Georgie Jones if you go way back.
Georgie, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you did go back with that one. Those are some kids that came in after I left. And that's another thing Coach Londa and I have in common. We both graduated from Highland Park, as well as we both played for Minneapolis Community and Technical College after high school.
I do remember Olanda sharing a photo. I'm trying to remember when she played because I don't remember her as a player.
She played at Highland Park. She said that her year of graduation was 99.
Okay, that would be why.
Okay. And I'm an
LeSedra
04
Williams.
graduate. Nice shot.
LeSedra-Williams connects on her second three-pointer. LeSedra, part of the North Tartan program, Sunrise Park Middle School, and White Bear Lake. Actually, I live less than a mile away from there.
No.
But when you're a part of the North Tartan program, that means you usually have some chops when it comes to basketball. 41-27, so 99, I wouldn't have remembered that then. But that was the year the boys team won state, 1999.
Yes, with Maurice Hargrove and Andre Ellis.
And I wish I knew any of I don't know any of them. I found some. I did find a copy of the tape when they won the 99 title, but I'm just fortunate that I started covering basketball in the height of the 6-1-2, 6-5-1 rivalry, South and Central, when you had a lot of top-tier talent.
Yeah.
Those were fun. Makes me wonder who the toughest player you had to go against, because you listed all those names. I'm like, they all were studs. Ashley and Angel and Ebony, and Danielle was no slouch. Daniel Mathias and Danielle Ellison. And
and it's all love now when we see each other. I mean, between all of us either coaching or our children playing. And we continue to run into each other, and it's just been great to keep basketball in our hearts and not even just in front of us, even after all these years of high school. It's fun. Actually, a couple girls out here, their parents and I went to high school together, so it's nice to see them.
That makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Nope.
No, I like that attitude. I like that attitude. You're only as old as you feel, right?
Yes.
Well, I you know what? I can't throw too much smack, because I remember a time when I had hair.
Well, you know,
I was not
helps
blessed
me,
with hair genes.
What helps me out is honestly getting in there and playing with the girls every now and again. It reminds me I still got it. And
I was going to say, I wonder if you and Ashley were to have another one-on-one or another friendly, how that would turn out.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it. There are a couple adult leagues, like get up and down a little bit.
Well, Tisa Mitchell took part in those. Aniyah Strader lines up the three. Aniyah Johnson, by the way, split at the line.
Tisa called me and was like, hey, you want to get up and down? Come and play with us,
And Tisa, she goes out there.
Yes, she does.
Jesse Stomsky, one of her buddies, still hoops it up from time to time. Here is Johnson. Ooh, that was that? I want to say Hover. My apologies, because Hover and Sylvester are both wearing 25.
That's Sylvester. Good take to the basket.
Now that one is Aniyah Strader. That much I can tell you.
Yes,
But that's hard. The next two games I won't have as much of a problem, because I know a lot of the sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Oh,
Here's LeSedra-Williams.
Her
three is short. Sage Gilbert out of Highland Park in trouble, but Strader is there. Strader, by the way, 11 points.
She's having a great game.
Tyesha still trailing by 13, and Amaya Penn.
Nice cut.
Horton. Great. Can't get the bounce.
Good board. That was a great bounce.
That was Johnson. Amaya Penn on the bench for the moment, but right now my candidate for player of the game. I don't have any trophies to give out like the Intercity All-Star Classic. All I can give you is an interview. But this event is meant for fun.
Yes. The girls seem to be having a good time all the way in there.
Aniyah Johnson, three off the back iron.
Good first good.
And Horton with the rebound there.
Corner.
Now, I'm not sure if you were familiar with Yolanda before taking up this coaching, but how surreal was it to find out, oh, by the way, I went to Highland Park too, or were you aware of that before?
Well, I did not know she went to Highland. I was not aware of that. So that was funny when I found out she went to Highland Park. I did, however, know that she played at MCTC. One of her former teammates was my assistant coach when I was there, by the name of Melissa Player. So they played together back at MCTC. But no, I did not know she played at Highland Park. So that was an interesting fact when we found that out. Nice
Aaliyah
shot.
Miller drains the three, and on the other end, Sage Gilbert scored for Team Tyesha. And we're going to have a timeout. 11:07 left in the second half, and Team Aiyana maintaining their lead over Team Tyesha 45-31.
Team Tyesha.
As we continue this balance between calling a game and reliving Lavera's fondest memories.
They can come back, man. It's they're only down by 14. You know, it's with some good defense. I feel like they can get a little closer into this game and potentially come back into it. So, but it's like you said, it's an all-star game. It's up in the air.
And as I said before, the points don't matter. This is an exhibition event, so the purpose isn't to determine a winner or loser per se. It's to give these kids an opportunity to play. And I mentioned this with Mikhala and others when I did this last year. No other All-Star event creates this opportunity for the younger kids. I know there was a middle school All-Star game that Olanda took part in as a coach on Friday, but there is no feature or shoulder game.
Mm-hmm.
Every other All-Star, it's meant for the senior class, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have some of the younger kids get a chance to play too, and that's what Crystal's doing.
Yes, and I think it's great that she's doing it, and who's a better person, and also opening up opportunities and doors for women like myself, for coaches like myself. She has all women running today's program, from the announcers, the coaches, working the door.
Except me.
Yeah, well, no, that's okay. You're covering all things basketball. We expect to see you here.
Aniyah Johnson with the foul in the basket.
Yes, that was a great take to the basket for her. Nice finish.
And that gives Team Aiyana another bucket as they look to keep pace. I see Penn back in there. Aniyah Johnson, that was her first field goal. Had a few free throws. And won't get that one there, but that's okay. We don't count the free throw percentages in this one. We're going to see Aaliyah's older sister, I believe, Ashley, in the next game. Reece Watson for three, bullseye. And that gets her on the board, and now it's an 11-point game. Penn, look out.
All right.
She is human after all.
We want to be smart with the ball.
Offensive rebound, three ball. No good. Horton calling for it. Watson with the
Nice
feed.
hesitation.
Ooh, left it short. And Williams catches up to it. Horton wins the scramble.
It's going down.
I should have had Tyesha call this game. You and I can continue reminiscing.
Oh, no, she's doing great, right?
Like I said, I feel completely useless.
This is a great role.
Watson steps into the three. Off the back iron.
Nice box out. That was a great.
Couldn't put that one down. Dornan and a lot of the younger players, there was a lot of growing. It didn't necessarily show up in the win column as LeSedra Williams fires the three and sinks it. But Crystal, she wasn't afraid to share that she didn't think her team would necessarily win a game.
Wow.
And that's not a knock on her players. She knew what she had and thinking, all right, we may not win a lot of games this year. They only won 7, but they did win their first round section game, and they have a lot of younger pieces. Samya Denman out of Park of Cottage Grove scoring the last bucket for Team Aiyana. Park of Cottage Grove, they're one of those sleeper teams. They've been building back up again, but they're a group, I've covered them on and off. They may not blow you away with the headliners like Liv McGill, who's reffing, but they always bring a good dose of athleticism. A lot of multi-sport athletes, those kids can play.
Naturally, that's what you kind of expect when it comes to Cretin-Derham Hall. So,
Cretin-Derham Hall has a few of those multi-sport athletes as well, Park of Cottage Grove, and I've always encouraged that. I don't know if you played multiple sports in high school as Penn fires another three and is feeling it. Well, we know you played at least one. Did you play any others?
I actually did not play any other sports.
You would have killed it in volleyball.
Well, I tore my ACL, and
that can
that kind of
things.
kept me. I started with track. I used to do the hurdles, and after tearing my knee up, I only stuck with basketball. I was a little afraid, admittedly, to do that.
Well, you only have two knees.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty tall, so I needed to keep them as strong as possible and didn't want to put too much stress on them.
I do find it amusing you still get asked if you can play basketball. Well, I guess in your case you can, so if anybody has any bright ideas, you can shut them up in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that I'm always in some sort of basketball attire, so it's like,
that's right.
Play basketball.
How many Wolves and Lynx games did you work over the years?
Oh,
the Ordway's probably a nice break from all that.
I couldn't even count, and I told Sylvia Fowles, I said, I've probably signed your name a couple times because people just stopped me in the Skyway, and we had our hair in the exact same braids, and they would stop me.
What did Sylvia say about that?
She goes, she'll bill my people later for it. So
that sounds like something Sylvia would say. That's Mikhala Rivers.
Yep. Around. Yeah, but it happens all the time. People think that I play ball, or where do you coach, where do you play, and it's a great opportunity.
You have an
for
answer
me
to that now?
To tell them I coach at Como Park High School.
You have a chance to do that. Sylvia Fowles, that is hilarious that you signed in her name.
Yes.
No, Sylvia, very down-to-earth person. I interviewed her plenty of times when she was at Chicago, then Minnesota. And you probably heard of her friendly rivalry with Simone Augustus. Those two frequently lampooned each other.
Yeah, it's the WNBA season in my 10 years at the Target Center was probably my favorite time.
It helped that the Lynx are the one team winning.
Yes, and their
regularly.
fans had.
But now the Wolves are on their way up again.
Yes, that's very true.
And the rest, and I think our attitude is finally, after all these years, they finally have a product that meshes together. Sage Gilbert comes up short.
They're getting a lot of second and third opportunities for rebounds, and they're just not being able to finish at the rim.
On the other end, Team Aiyana, you've got 3 double-digit scores. Aaliyah Miller with 12, Amaya Penn with 20, and LeSedra with 11.
Nice.
All three have hooked up nicely today. Here's Horton. The drive disrupted.
That was a hold.
So are we going to see you coaching at Como next season?
Yes, I will be back at Como next season. I
didn't scare you away.
No, I am not.
I thought seeing me all the time and having to put up with my commentary, that might be enough to drive you away, but apparently not. You have more fortitude than that.
Well, I've seen you around for so long, and I had no idea your connection with Coach Yolanda and the Como Park team. So
it goes back to the Andrea Adams years.
Andrea Adams. I actually played basketball with her aunt at MCTC. Her aunt is Jamie Young. She was a Shaq to my Kobe during our MCTC days. But yes, Andrea was.
You were Kobe? I thought you'd be more.
Well, I was a Shaq to her Kobe.
Okay.
I meant to say that the other way around.
Deep three. I was going to say I thought you'd be more of the Shaq. Yeah, okay. Because I'm like I mean, then again, Candace Parker. We've seen 6'4", 6'5" point guards now. So
yes.
What am I saying?
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of things on social media where these young ladies are saying, I am not a post player. I'm just a big guard. They want to handle the ball. They want to bring it up. They want to be in control of the floor. And some of these big girls can actually bring that ball up and handle it very well. That was a great pass. Nice finish.
Aaliyah Horton scoring for Team Tyesha. Mikhala Rivers got on the board for Team Aiyana on the other end. Aiyana with a 57-40 lead.
Go inside. Good take, girl. Able to finish.
3:20 to go. Let's see if Tyesha has. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Crystal bringing us Gatorade.
Thank you.
Well, it's important to stay hydrated.
Yes, very much so.
Sage Gilbert. Going baseline. Bounce pass disrupted by Rivers. Horton guarded by Miller.
That stays. Oh, no.
The two Queens players.
It's always interesting to play against your teammate.
I don't think you had that at your All-Star game.
No.
Because I think, were you the only Highland Park player that year?
No, Tonia Jackson. She was another senior the year that I was a senior. She
Mahogany Brown.
Nice shot.
Is burning red. I'll show myself out. Brown with her second triple, as Tyesha noted. Another player, as LeSedra Williams lines up another three, that goes in and out. I'm trying to remember who else was in that 04 class, because I think you played alongside an old classmate of mine in Lindsey Bryant, who's now teaching at the Minneapolis Public School District.
Oh, okay. 04. It was not.
Harding wasn't a force necessarily. They had some decent players, but their heyday was the early 90s, although I caught up with Latoya earlier today, Latoya Turk, who told me about this Gracie Chavez, who dropped 30 points a game. I guess gave everyone fits.
Great defense. Jump, jump, jump.
So there might be a Harding kid to keep an eye on.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I know that when I was a senior in high school, the group to look at was actually a couple years underneath us. As far as who was expected to make a lot of noise in the St. Paul district. So
well, Angel Robinson comes to mind there.
Yes, and that's why I say they were much. I mean, she was an 8th grader when I was a senior, so
she was a terrific player.
Very much. Just saw her the other day.
I think had the WNBA had a few more teams, I think she might have had a chance to make it there, but she's made a name for herself as an overseas player.
Yes, she did. Oh, the rebounds.
And family friends with the Adams, so Andrea would go at her more than once in the heyday, and Andrea would not let anyone leave until she would play or beat them or something. So you can see how this all spreads here.
Actually, Andrea Adams comes from a pretty athletic family. Her grandfather was a basketball player as well as a track star.
Less than a minute to go, and it looks like Aiyana will hang on for this win.
Yes.
They just got on that big run late in the first half, never looked back.
Yeah.
But what did you enjoy most about this game and who you got to see today?
Actually,
Strouder was very impressive.
Also, like I mentioned before, watching some of the post players post up down low. Unfortunately, getting great rebounds and just not being able to finish at the rim. But I'm excited to see some of these young ladies step into the high school world. They got some nice height out there, too, to point out. So I'm always looking for the post players. I'm always looking for the height.
Well, there's plenty of it out there. You'll see it in our next pair of games.
Absolutely. I'm excited for the next game. I have Sahara Say from
Sahara Hinton.
Yes, Harris is her last name. She
what the?
Whoa.
Okay. Reece Watson flexing a little bit. But that's okay. Aiyana defeats Tyesha 59-43. And again, this is the time to have fun.
Yes, it was. It is a good time, and it looks like the girls had a good time out there. Got a couple more games to go.
We certainly do, and we'll have a 3-point shootout first, and then we'll go to the next game and then have team photos. Your takeaways from this game, Lavera?
My takeaways from this game, as I mentioned before, it was nice rotation in the girls. You know, even though they just met each other, and this was a quick something put together pretty quickly. They played well together, and there was some times where you could see the ball moving amongst them as if they've played together before. So it's been good. It was a good game, and like you said, the points don't matter. It's an opportunity for them to showcase themselves and to get a name out there for themselves before they step into the world of high school, and for the ninth graders that are already there, just introducing themselves. So this was great.